Hello, Tim Sylvie here, and today we have a right little treat for you. It's a double whammy, a duo, a pair, a brace of racing drivers. One hails from Belgium and the other from the Netherlands. And did you know that both Belgium and Holland have a great deal in common? They both became independent from the UK in 1839, and both countries share a lot, not just borders. There are around 35,000 Belgians living in Holland, and around 111,000 Dutchies living in Belgium. They often JV to bid for major sporting events and team up for shows like So You Think You Can Dance and Next Top Model. And now, in true testing fashion, Harry Benjamin, I would like to know from you which countries Belgium borders. Blue, there are 4. Go.
For anyone who listened to the last podcast, he asked me which 8 countries border Austria, and I got 2.
This one is pretty easy.
Well, okay.
It's 4.
It's 4. All right, fine. All right. So I'm gonna go with France.
Correct.
Yeah.
Then so France, and then I'm gonna go with another country that is called. I just freak out with it.
Right. No,
it's really easy. It's really easy.
This is very easy. Luxembourg, Germany.
Yeah.
It is Luxembourg. Okay, right.
Holland.
Holland.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Nick, for clarifying for my completely inept code.
I'm sorry, my audio is a bit rubbish, so I didn't hear any of that. So basically, whatever. I think the 4 countries that border it are Holland, France, Germany, and Luxembourg. I'm going to go with. How's that? Is that all right?
Yeah, now, just act like that.
Yeah, well done, Harry. We'll edit that so it's all.
Yeah, we'll do that in post. Yeah.
Talking of Nick, we are not alone. Shall I introduce today's guests?
I think so.
So we're very spoilt today to be joined by Mercedes EQ Formula E drivers Nyck de Vries and Stoffel Vandoorne. Nyck, originally from the brilliantly named Sneak, started in karting and went on to win karting world championships in 2010 and 2011 before moving up to Formula Renault 2.0, Renault 3.5, GP3 and Formula 2. Where he took the title in 2019, and in the same year took part in the World Endurance Championship. He, of course, went on to join Mercedes EQ Formula E, which brings us up to date with him. His teammate, who also joins us, is Stoffel Vandoorne, a man who has bundles of experience at the top level. He's been in Formula E since 2018, but started way back at 6 years old in karts. He won the Belgian KF2 Championship before F4 Euro Cup, which he casually won in his debut season. He was a McLaren Mercedes reserve driver, but he kept the ring rust away with his involvement in GP2, which he won at the second time of asking. He made his F1 debut in 2016 before switching to Formula E in 2018. And as we talk today, Mercedes EQ are right up there in the hunt for the team's championship, and both Nyck and Stoffel are mathematically in with a chance for the title. It's a pleasure to have a power half hour with them both. Nyck and Stoffel, welcome to the MotorMouth podcast.
I was hoping you're going to introduce some proper company. Like, you already introduced it, so I was like, oh, I'm expecting a kind of surprise for us now. I don't know.
No, that's it. It's just you.
Some stuff. Finish my sentence, please, because I would be in trouble and you can.
No, I'm going to leave you in trouble for this one.
No, we should have had all 18 drivers that are still eligible for the championship. I think that would have been good. Please welcome all of the others. But I think Zoom has a maximum capacity on that. But Stoffel and Nyck, thank you very much for taking some time out for us. And it's a very busy weekend, of course, because it's the Thursday before Berlin. This will go out after the race as well. So we can't make any prediction. Well, we can predict, but we don't know what would have happened, of course. Where are you both now? How's the feeling at the moment? What's sort of the usual vibe before a race on a Thursday? Stoffel, if we start with you.
Yeah. So, well, at the moment we're in our hotel room in Berlin. Kind of getting ready for the weekend. Thursday is usually our first day on track. The morning on a Thursday is pretty relaxed still, but we'll be going to the circuit this afternoon, doing some media stuff, have a catch up with our engineers, which is a technical meeting before the weekend kicks off, and then from tomorrow the race weekend fully starts with shakedown, practice, and then races on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it's a very big weekend ahead. Nyck, let's come to you. I want to know from you what your teammate's like. Can you tell us any weird or wonderful things he does? Anything interesting about him? Any strange things he does before a race?
No, not really. We honestly have a good relationship. We went for a run together this morning, and I think we make a good team. We work together on track, but we obviously speak the same language, so it's very easy communicating, and we stay in touch on and off track, and we get on well. So nothing really particular to say. I'm sorry, it's a bit boring, but it is the reality. You know, the catering girls at FE, they always call us the twin brothers, because wherever we go, we turn up together.
We literally turn up everywhere together. We do all our events together. So we don't go to the bathroom. Well, we do go to the bathroom together, but separately.
Let's leave that bit out of the equation.
Right.
Is the language what do you speak? Is it Flemish? Is that how you talk, or is there something else?
I mean, Dutch. Flemish is the same as Dutch. It's just like a different dialect, basically.
Got you. And Stoffel, same question, I suppose. You know, you guys obviously get on well, your teammates as well as rivals. Any interesting tidbits about Nyck and then the way he conducts himself? Digging for dirt here.
I mean, Nyck pretty much summed it up. You know, I think we're both, quite professional in our approach within the race team, and we're very similar in terms of our approach with the racing, with how we deal with our engineers and the environment within the team. So I don't think there's anything too weird, to be honest.
Damn it, for God's sake. Right, okay, we'll move on. But no,
we're boring,
nice.
We're just boring.
It's nice, though, that you have such a good relationship and a good, well, that's what you want, isn't it, your teammate? You want someone to push you and also to get on with them off the track as well, if you can. But let's go into when you first both had your starts in Formula E. Nyck, if we start with you as well, because, of course, I suppose you're going to be used to, traditional combustion-focused, engine-powered cars coming from Formula 2 as well. What was that transition like in those early stages of your first season coming to Formula E?
Well, at the end of the day, the basics of racing remain the same. Racing or driving a racing car to the limit, I think, is very similar in anything you drive. It doesn't really matter. The basics are everywhere the same. The feeling might be certainly different, and the limits are as well, but the basics remain the same. The biggest difference is really the format of the race weekend, and I think how the championship has been designed. So obviously we have electric racing cars, we have very little downforce, profile tires, so kind of road tires, 2 sets or 1.5 set per event, depending if we have two or one races a weekend. We race in city centers on city tracks. We come to fans rather than fans to us. We obviously try to spread a very sustainable message, which is much bigger than us. Racing has been very, well, not so environmental friendly, and we are actually proving and showing the opposite. Then you have the energy management in the race and the strategic elements and aspects, such as the attack mode, etc. So, yeah, it's to me, it's not so much the pure driving as in a fast lap. In the race, obviously, there is a lot more to it, such as the energy management and the strategic elements of it. But at the end of the day, it's a race car, and it requires some adaptation, and it's a very tricky car to drive at the limit. That's why it's close, and that's why you see people up and down as well. Same for myself. But the real, like, of course there is less grip, less downforce, so you can attack less. But at the end, it's the same, but different, as in the limits are different.
And Stoffel, you've come from your Formula One background, for example, where you often have to manage tires throughout a race. How important is that that energy management that Nyck talks about there in the management of your race? And we've seen examples of it in Formula E where many teams have got it wrong and ended up either almost or completely running out of energy. How hard is that process when you're in the middle of a track, all hot-blooded and in the thick of it?
Yeah, it depends a little bit circuit to circuit. So some tracks are very difficult on the energy management, and others are quite easy. Like the last race we had in London was was one of the easiest ones we had in terms of the energy management. So it was not that much difference between teams and between drivers, let's say. But I think it gets a lot more interesting when there is energy management into play, because that's where the teams can make a strategic difference. That's where the drivers as well can do a better job than another one. And because the championship is so close now, that everyone is kind of within a very, very small percentage of each other performance wise, if you have a small energy advantage, that can bring you quite a lot of benefits towards the end of the race, especially. So it can buy you some overtakes, and usually at the end of the race, when people are starting to struggle, that's where kind of all the mayhem kicks off and people starting to overtake, and it is a key element of Formula E, and I hope it remains like that in the future.
It's a tricky championship, isn't it? And that's why it's so tight. And so you need to really try and stay on top of everything. And you need a good team for that. And particularly, I suppose, a good team boss. And we had your boss, Ian James, on our show fairly recently. What's he like as a boss? He's not listening, so feel free to say what you like.
He's rubbish.
He said that's only about you. That's weird.
Yeah.
Where is he? Can we invite him?
Get him on. But it must be, you need that big team dynamic round, and having Ian there, since obviously, especially Stoffel, you've been there, it was HWA, and now that's obviously led into the full-blown Mercedes team. You've seen the development from it right from the first season, and to have, someone like Ian James at the helm must be a good thing as well, to have someone spearheading your development.
Yeah, so when I joined the team, obviously it was HWA, and it was still, everything was privately run by them, and I was part of it since the very beginning, where Formula E was completely new to the team, so no one had any clue about the championship, about car setup, about the energy management, and I was honestly pulling my hair in the beginning with the same people that we have today. That they're 95% are the same people, but it just shows through the last 3 years how much this team has progressed, has come along. In the beginning, no one had any experience, and we made a lot of mistakes. Same from my side, but also the team had no experience. They couldn't really teach me anything about the championship, about the car, or whatever. So we kind of had to discover it all together. But yeah, in some way, I'm proud as well to have been part of that journey since the start. To start with HWA, to then progress into a manufacturer team with Mercedes, and having the first win for Mercedes last season here in Berlin as well, and now being in a position to fight for both championships. So I think we can all be proud to be part of this project.
Yeah, it's a fantastic series. Now, on to the most important part of this interview, and we've given Stoffel a little heads up about this because he was on time, Nick, quite frankly. So he got the heads up. So this is where I pass.
Which interview? Marlene, come on, back me up on this. I was in another interview.
It's my fault. I'm so sorry.
See, thank you.
You've actually got evidence. You've been backed up there. Fair play.
Fair enough. We'll forgive you. But I will pass you over to my very tall, big-footed, illustrious, bearded colleague to introduce you to the MotorMouth quiz.
Yes, Stoffel Vandoorne, Nyck de Vries, welcome to MotorMouths, the hardest quiz in motorsport, because I'm never quite sure if the answers I've got are actually correct. And also, it's all about you and your careers. And if history has anything to prove, a lot of drivers seem to forget what they've done. So we'll give it a go and see how we do. I've got 4 questions for you and a bonus question after that. It's a mixture of a couple of team radio clips as well, which you'll hear into your ears shortly. And basically, there are 14 points up for grabs. At the moment, at the very top of the leaderboard is actually a former Formula E champion in the form of Nelson Piquet Jr., who's sitting pretty with 14 points at the moment. If you get 14, you go to the top. Who else is up there? Dilbag Gill, Alexander Sims is up there as well. Mark Webber in 5th. So are you up for the challenge of your first question? You've got to work together here as a team.
Together, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
together. Got to work
So
together.
both our names would be on top.
You'll be yes. So you got to work together to get
Good,
maximum points. Okay,
sounds
all
good.
sound good.
I'm
All
up
right,
for it. I'm leaning forward. I'm
here
getting
we
ready.
go. We're ready. Okay, here is your first question. Right, in what position did you both finish your first ever Formula E races?
Oh Jesus! I know
Maybe
it
you
was.
did not finish.
I finished, but it was bloody far down the order. I remember that.
Mine is relatively easy.
Yes,
Yeah,
I know. It's P7 in race 1 Saudi. But come on, mate. We need.
Are you sure? Are you sure it was P7?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
was
Harry.
Wait, was there a post-race penalty or something which put you up a position?
Oh.
Wikipedia says you actually did better than P7. Not by much.
P6.
Yeah, I've got P6 written down, but I feel like you're in the ballpark anyway, so I'm happy to give you the point.
Oh,
Yeah, but we need Stoffel's point as well.
Okay, come on, Stoffel.
I don't know.
It was far down.
17.
Oh.
P16. But you know what? I'm gonna get this. There were 3 points up for grabs there. I'm gonna give you 2 out of 3 on that one because you were both pretty close.
Yeah, but I don't like it. No, because then we cannot lead. I don't like it. I want 3.
Competitive racing driver.
You may be able to make up an extra point if I'm feeling generous as we go through. Okay, because your next question is not really a question. We're going to play you a little clip of something. Have a listen to it, and then I'm going to ask you a question at the end of it. So have a listen to this.
Here it comes.
You want people to make yes! Yes! What a day! Oh my God, Stoffel, this is it.
That's all you get.
So I think we just about caught that. So Stoffel and Nick, I suppose, working together, but a little clue there in the clip, I think. Stoffel, this is potentially your realm here. What can you tell me is going on? Who's talking? What's just happened? Where are you? Can you provide a bit of the context for us?
Yeah, this was Berlin last year, the final race of the season, and it was the post-race celebrations in the car. So I was talking with with my engineer, obviously, and then Ian also came on the radio.
Excellent.
That's an extra bonus point, right?
I'm gonna give you 3.
I could have guessed this one right without even being in the car.
He wasn't even in the car, so
this was easy.
Right, I'm going to give you a full house of 3 because there's still 2 more full point questions up for grabs. Okay, the next one is going to be a difficult one, I think, unless you say you're twins, but how well do you really know each other? Question for both of you. Stoffel, when is Nick's birthday? Nick, when is Stoffel's birthday? and I'm looking for the day, the month, and the year.
Oh man.
Fucking hell. I know it's in March.
Okay, yeah, you can have that. Yeah. Any idea when?
Wait.
I should know because we celebrated it. We celebrated it somewhere. No, we had a cake or something.
I'll give you a clue. You're not far apart in months.
Okay.
No, it's no. I know that. I am. Eentje voor jou.
Okay, I'll go with the year 95.
Yeah, 95, correct.
Okay, so I got that one right.
I think you've earned a point there collectively because you've got a March and a
stuff
year.
Is I think is it 93 or 92?
No,
92. Is it March 25th?
Oh,
so close.
Very
close.
Go up one.
Is it 26th?
Yes, he's got it in one. There we go.
Well, I've been close. I mean,
it's close. You're close.
Yeah.
You're close. And come on, Stoffel. Any idea for Nick?
Well, if you said the month is close, I'll go. I think you were before me. Yeah, so February.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well done.
So
Now,
Stoff got the year and the month right, which is already something.
Yes.
But the day I have no clue. What I feel like it was during a race. I don't know. Wait, can I check my calendar?
Not if it says Nyck de Vries' birthday was in.
No.
Look, he's so Swedish of his camera.
Oh,
This is. I don't know about this. I don't know.
it feels like a point deduction. This
February.
There we go.
You got February. You've got 95.
I don't remember.
You know. Well, all right. I'm going to put you out of your misery.
I'm gonna go with the 10th.
No, you're way. Well, you're not way off, but no, you're wrong. I'm going to give you 2 out of 3 points on that one, which I think is fair. So, Stoffel, you, of course, I think, are the 26th of March, 1992, and Nick, you were born on the 6th of February, 1995. But you know what? You kind of you nearly got it between you, but I'm going to give you 2 out of 3 points here. We'll move on to the next one, and then we have one more bonus point after that. So you can claw back some points here. It's another clip. This time it's all about Nick. So Nick, important for you to listen to this one. Play it, and it's the same thing again. Just give me the context at the end.
Here it comes.
This is an absolute catastrophe. De Vries is going to be the only driver, and maybe Cassidy.
What's going on? Look, they're all weaving around because
All of the field, apart from Mercedes, have miscalculated the length of the race.
After the first sentence, I already knew what it was.
I knew it as well.
You can give us 3 points. Well, Valencia, obviously.
Yes, absolutely correct. That must have been a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, but I never realized because I was the whole race fighting with Antonio in P2. And then obviously, Antonio kind of dropped in front of me going into the last lap, but I obviously never realized what happened behind me until
I think I had
race.
the more crazy part of the race.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I got disqualified from pole, so I started last in that race. And with two laps to go or 3 laps to go, I basically everyone was running out of energy in front. So it was super weird, but quite funny at the same time, actually.
Yeah, 2 laps because it was a safety car restart, and Da Costa could have made it a 1 lap and made it a 2 instead.
Well, I mean, Formula E is known for crazy races, but that was probably the craziest so far. But the good news is that got you a full 3 points. Here is your final question.
Bonus point.
A bonus point up for grabs here. In total, how many podiums does Mercedes EQ have in Formula E?
So
how does it count?
If we share a podium, how does that work? Is that 2 podiums?
Yes. So however many podiums Nick has, however many podiums Stoffel has, combine them, and that includes obviously wins as well.
So a win is counted as a podium.
Yes.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I think last season.
So just count yours and I'll add mine.
Okay. 1, 2.
You had 3 last year.
3 last year, and this year.
I don't want to put pressure on you, but you really need this bonus point to make an impact on the leaderboard.
Yeah, this year I had 2.
2. Yeah, so you had 3 last year because you had 2 in Saudi, 1 in Berlin, plus 2 this year, Rome and Valencia. Yeah. So you have a total of 5.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
I had 1 last year in Berlin and 4 this year, like Saudi race 1, Valencia race 2, and then 2 in London.
Exactly.
So basically it makes 5 and 5.
And when you add that together, what do you get?
It's 10.
Hey, you get the bonus point. Full house. Very well done. You do have, of course, 10 podiums. So all of that means, let me quickly do the math.
I love how seriously you took that. That was
the problem is, we don't have that many podiums, so it's they're quite easy to remember. So I feel like we should have more,
Yeah. To be fair, only in two official seasons. Okay. Well, at the end of all of that, there were 14 points up for grabs. You have done yourself well there. You've got 11 points out of 14, which is not to be sniffed at, but that does put you down in, where are you? You are just above Esteban Gutierrez and Edo Mortara in about 15th position there. So I told you it's a tight leaderboard.
Yeah, but the birthday thing had us over because for sure the others didn't have a question like that.
What? No, we've had both the Neo drivers on here. They've had the same question.
Yeah,
thrown at
but
them.
you know what they do? They're on Google as you speak. It's easy to
I'm
cheat
sorry.
it. You can't see
Did
it.
we all miss when Stoffel went and checked his calendar?
I went to look at my schedule, not on Google, to find out his date.
We didn't cheat. We didn't cheat.
Well, look, all right. Well, you've done the quiz. That's the hard part out of the way. Now, we don't have very long left with you. So we're going to move on and we're going to go to the next part, the final part of the show while we still have you. But I'm sure we'll do another quiz at some stage, maybe next season, so you can try and improve.
We will indeed. But that was fantastically well done. And if you bear in mind, we're nearly at 100 episodes. So 15th is not a bad result.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I want to know from both
15 is a bad result.
15th out of
No one wants to be P15.
Out of
Let's that be
100.
clear.
I feel like we need to put Nick and Stoffel first, just because I'm a little bit scared of Nick.
I know.
And I'm gonna be there this weekend, and I'm slightly nervous for my life. I'm honest. Let's just make them champions and be done with it, please.
I kind of agree with that.
He's gonna hunt me down. This is not good.
But actually, you don't know as well enough, because I'll tell you, when stuff gets grumpy, you better get
grumpy
grumpy.
at something else.
Nobody wants grumpy. So I'm staying in. I think
You
I'm
don't want
staying,
to meet me on a bad day.
I think I'm staying at your hotel as well. So this has got real bad news written all over it. We'll come on to our final three, which is brought to you by F1 Experiences, our friends and sponsors of the podcast. I'll kick things off this week. Same question to both of you. We ask all our guests these same three. Let's come to you first, Stoffel. What's got you excited at this very moment?
Oh, well, what's got me excited is that it's the final race of the season for us. I mean, it's a circuit I really enjoy a lot. Berlin, we like we just saw earlier, we had some pretty good results here last season, and there's a championship to play for as well. So I just like to go into the weekend kind of empty-headed and open-minded, let's say, and just try and finish this season on a high. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to.
Good stuff.
And yeah, same to you, Nick.
Same answer.
Same answer. Nice. All right, I'll move on to the next one then. We'll start with you then on this one, shall we, Nick? If you weren't a racing driver, what would you be doing?
I liked architecture as a kid, but in all fairness, I never really had a plan B. So yeah, this was the A plan, and one way or the other, I had to make it work.
Heard that one from a few drivers who seem to put their all eggs into one basket, but it's obviously worked out for you. Stoffel, same question for you.
Yeah, it's funny Nick said architecture, because that's the same for me, because my dad is he's an architect, and yeah, I always liked the drawing side a little bit, and interior stuff, but yeah, same as probably most other drivers, that wasn't really in my head. There was not really a plan B, let's say, at the time.
Yeah, you've got to go all in, haven't you, if you want to make it to the top. Now, this last question is a good one, and it throws up all sorts of different answers. We've had people who have shared their fears and what they're scared of, and we've had everything from Crofty, F1 lead commentator, being scared of bloody tea bags. We've had killer whales, sharks, all sorts of heights, and various weird and wonderful things.
Oh, this is actually useful to know. Sebastian Buemi, deathly afraid of sharks. So keep that one up your sleeve.
Yeah. Just throw a shark at him and you'll be fine.
He's a funny character.
There's some weird ones up and down your grid, I tell you. Nick, let's come to you on this one first. What are you scared of?
I'm not necessarily scared, but I'm just not a great fan of animals.
What? Just
any animal?
Just don't like dogs, cats?
Well, dogs, cats. I mean, if they're small, I'm fine, and I feel tall, so I feel like I can, I can fight them if required. But no, animals.
You can't fight a cat. You can't beat up a cat, Nick.
Well, I can tell you that. Yeah, so just animals in general, I'm not very very good with. And just in like Monaco is very, very safe. but if you have some big cities at night, and I'm just not really a brave guy with these things. I'm rather the one that, I'd rather be safe than in danger in those occasions.
So you stick yourself in one of the fastest race cars on the planet instead.
Yeah, it's like you kind of
Feels safe.
It feels safe, and it feels like you're in control. I don't like it when there are situations which are fully out of my control. So
Control. That's a great answer. Love that. And Stoffel, same to you.
Probably spiders. I don't mind the small ones, the little ones. I don't really care, but when they have a bit of volume, that's
if you're faced with a tarantula, you might run away from that one.
I'm out of there. You won't see me.
That's a much more sensible answer. No, it's very true. I can't do spiders, even little ones, not for me. Well, look, I think we are pretty much there. We'd love to have more time with you, but hopefully we'll get another chance next season, perhaps. But we are doing this on the weekend before the Berlin race, the finale. So we wish you both, because you're still at this point in time both in the hunt for the championship. So we wish you the best of luck this weekend as well. We know Formula E is crazy, but hopefully luck will be on your side. Nyck de Vries, Stoffel Vandoorne from Mercedes EQ Formula E team, thank you so much for coming on to the MotorMouth podcast.